As J. Maria Gordon sits on the porch of her West Detroit home, helping one of her 4 children dress, she is also worrying.
Because I'm in the process of getting evicted. My landlord has told me if I haven't paid up to $3,000 by September 10th, that they was going to go on with the eviction. So I'm in that process right now.
She says her housing problems are due to the COVID-19 pandemic.
I was working, but I have young kids, so they have to have daycare. And the person that watches my kids caught COVID. So I could no longer work. It forced me out of my job.
She says she's been looking for a new job and a new child care provider.
Hey there, besties. Thank you for stopping by. I am MICHONDENYSE. Let's go ahead and get back to it, because while things look like they may have simmered down, it's still the same, okay? This is titled Evictions. We're going to look at it, okay? But we also going to take a look at the comments, because as I'm always being unempathetic and unsympathetic and masculine, pick me, mammy, you know it all, y'all. You know it all. I ain't the only one. I'll just put it that way. But let me say we not the only ones, okay? Because I know y'all get it too. But let's go ahead and finish hearing what she got to say.
Meanwhile, rent has been piling up, and now she says she owes so much it feels impossible to pay it.
The 36th District Court sent me a letter saying that if I didn't pay the $3,000 by September 10th, that they was going to go on with the eviction. So that's what I was trying to do, but it's already August 25th, and I don't know if I'm going to be able to come up with $33,000 by then.
Hold on a second. So this baby is maybe, well, since there's a pacifier in the mouth, a year? Not quite a year, maybe 9 months or so. So where is the person that you made the baby with? Because I know y'all gonna already ask the question. I already know y'all gonna ask, but I'm gonna go ahead and ask first. Can that person not help you? Is that person not there? What are the options with that gentleman that gave you this baby? I'm just asking, because whenever I talk about anything that's common sense, it's crazy talk. You already know. It's crazy talk. You're talking crazy. How dare you say that I should be with a person who saddled me with a kid? How dare you say that I should build or have a nuclear family with a person that I had a kid with? I could do it all by myself. I could do it all by myself, sis. I don't need no man. I'm independent. I own a business. Okay? Okay, keep listening to those people that tell you all that, and that's what you think, and you can do it all by yourself, this, that, and the third. And then, of course, it's ashy, crusty, dusty, and musty's fault. It can't be both. So what is it? It can't be both. But you know how it works, y'all. Just pick whatever works for the time, but never any accountability, never any self-reflection, never any looking back. What could I have done differently? What is the plan? What we gonna do next? Never, 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 ever, ever. Nope.
$33,000 by then.
She's tried to get help.
I filled out the COVID relief rental assistance. No one got back to me. I did that May 8th, 2021. No one's contacted me, nothing. So as of now, I don't know right now what to do or what I'm going to do.
The program J. Marie applied for is Sarah. It is designed to help people like her who are struggling to pay rent due to the pandemic.
So I'm going to give her props for at least knowing where to go and looking into getting the rental assistance and applying. I'm going to give her props for that, y'all, because let's not act like there's plenty of people that won't even make a move, won't do nothing except for wait and hope for what comes next. This is also a lesson to say, while those that want to wait for the government to come and help you, if she said May and she's still waiting August, I think she said, that's 4 months or so, and she ain't heard from nobody, but everybody think the government gonna come help them. Keep waiting on them. That's all I'm gonna say.
We spoke with Kelly Rose at the Michigan State Housing Development Authority to find out more about the program and how people can take advantage of it.
So the COVID Emergency Rental Assistance Program, which we call SARA, is designed to help renters and landlords. So renters can get up to 15 months of rental assistance, and they can also get help with their utilities. So really the program is designed to help the renter preserve their housing stability and to also help the landlord to recoup those rental payments at the time.
So it sounds like it's a great win for everybody, right? You help the landlords, you get your money, you help the customer, you get some money, you can pay the rent, you get some help with the utilities. It's great. It's wonderful. It sounds like a great program. But if they ain't getting back to you, what good is that going to do you?
And it was not able to make during the pandemic.
Although the program can help tremendously, there are also a tremendous number of people applying for it at the same time.
So in Detroit, because they are having such a high application volume, it is taking generally about 8 weeks to get applications processed. In some cases, it's faster. In some cases, it's slower because they are working to prioritize eviction cases. So if the landlord has already filed for eviction and that case needs to be processed faster, then they're just sort of moving it to the front of the line to really speed up that process.
But it's taken much longer for J. Maria's claim to get processed. She filed back in May.
Everyone in charge needs to be ashamed of themselves.
But waiting for rental assistance has frustrated and outraged some people. We caught up with a group called Moratorium Now. They were speaking out along with other organizations to demand that SARA funds be released more quickly to help people stay in their homes.
No one should be evicted or even thought about being evicted until every dime is released.
Rose points out there are other factors that slow up the process.
So we're really working to try to reach people, but we also have about 15,000 applications statewide where the landlord has applied, but the tenant has not yet applied. So we're really working with our service or agents.
Okay, it honestly sounds like a bunch of BS, red tape, working around in circles, making it difficult and hard. It is not that hard, okay? You daggone apply, you go ahead and take a look at what's what, get a copy of the daggone rental agreement. Then you can go ahead and reach out to the landlord. So whoever applies needs to be able to either put the landlord or the tenant's name and phone number on there and or address so that they can go and call and verify. And then you find out and then you disperse the funds. Here you go, straight to the daggone landlord, not to the tenant. This is what I'm talking about. They're overcomplicating things that don't need to be this complicated. Protest all you want. That lady talking about nobody should be out or put out until all the money is distributed. I kind of agree. I kind of disagree. If it comes to those people who have at least applied, yes, I agree. If there's people who haven't even made an effort, they're off the table. Do with what you must. But if you applied and no one is moving on it because they're going through this stupid rigmarole, then I agree. Nobody should be evicted until they get through it. Let's go. What is the problem? There's plenty of money that's been out here that has never been distributed. And my question still is, where'd that money go? Where'd the money go? Where it at?
Children.
Mommy, have a kiss. Love you. I have 4 kids that I have to take care of that needs a roof over their head. I can't pay the back rent right now, and I need assistance.
Child, like y'all always say, where the daddies? But that's crazy talk. That's crazy talk. So Alyssa Jones says unemployment gave a lot with incentives. Then there's the child tax credit. There was quite a bit of money floating out there. Just curious where the influx of money went. Also, I believe a lot of folks took advantage of the rent moratorium, and I agree with Alyssa. Prayers to everyone. Cool. Mr. Honesty said, my question is, why are we making more babies and struggling? And where is the father of these children? Now, listen, he asking. Parents have to be more responsible and need to be held accountable for something. That's crazy talk, Mr. Honesty. That's crazy talk. What are we talking about? You mean make people responsible who had these kids? You trying to tell me that they need to do something for all the kids that they have? Brandy says 15 months of rental assistance to assist far too many that didn't need it. That's why the rent has increased nationwide, because so many landlords were taken advantage of. That's a good point. I cannot attest, but that's a good point, supposedly. Frozen Tundra says landlords are not your parents. Pay your rent or get out. They must be masculine too. Gary Patton says, I like the wording that she used, a minimum of $3,000, which implies that she is owed quite a bit more and they're working with her on it. I'm not sure what that means. More prayers. Lindsay Collier says she's got 4 children, shaking my head. I'll bet my last $5 she could not afford the first child she had, but she had 3 more. Okay, so all I'm going to say is I ain't the only one. We just going through the comments, y'all. We going through the comments. C. Rutherford said, things really got ridiculous over the pandemic. If a person refuses to pay rent, can't afford an apartment, and or refuses to work, they should either apply for a Section 8 voucher or go to find a homeless shelter, not try to live for free endlessly, leeching off someone else. But you know, the landlords are the bad guys, y'all. A lot of comments, the landlord, slumlord. And listen, there are some jackasses. However, what we're not going to do is act like people can just live for free. Let's see. Jose Flores says, how come I never see through sad stories of young women with no children that lost their job but don't qualify for any assistance because they have no kids? It's always this woman with over 9,000 kids and countless baby daddies that appear on this report. More prayers. My peeps said, I lost my husband, so I lost his income, and my mother passed away, and my sister died 2 weeks ago. Do you think the bank cares? No, I still have to pay my mortgage. Lovin Lovelack says, rules of thumb, especially for single parents: rent first, food second, utility third, fourth, clothes and saving fifth. That sounds like a plan, child. That sounds like a plan. Deborah says she been getting stimulus and monthly child tax credit. No reason for not paying rent plus child support or ADC. Gator7774 says if someone pays her rent up to date, what is the probability that she can get a job in childcare to pay the rent for the next month? It's a sad situation to be in. I don't disagree. I don't think anybody thinks about what happens on the other side. That is a great point. Travis says, beside the state intervening with relief assistance to help out these single parents, are they now going to place single parents' children into the system of foster care? I'm just observing the event and pondering on it as well. Women and children living on the street. The saying, she for the street, had 2 and now 3 meanings, the third being outside with their fruits of their womb. And then Sam Morial says she certainly isn't going hungry. Okay. Let me do one more. Whistles to animals, because they're going to start to get, these comments starting to get derogatory. I'm a landlord. I have never had AC in my apartment. I barely ever turn the heat on, even when it's freezing outside. And I didn't have kids that won't be able to afford. This one here has 4 kids, and how many free services and schooling and school food, and how many people are required to work, how many hours a week to fund her and her kids. I only feel bad for the hardworking makers, not the unappreciative takers. He made a rhyme. Okay, so I'm gonna leave it at that, and I probably shouldn't have even commented and just let the comments comment for themselves. We've seen it before, we'll see more, and it seems that everyone thinks that there's someone who's coming to save them. It's expected, and that's why they sit around and plan on hoping. Anyway, that's it. That's all. If you made it this far, I do appreciate you. Please consider subscribing. I will see you all in the next one.